Hi, I'm Meredith McCarthy, and welcome to another Talk Time session. We're going to be talking today about the differences between meditation and hypnotherapy. And I've got today Teresa Saunders, my fellow colleague, who's going to be chatting with me about these topics. Hi there, Teresa. How are you?
Hi, Meredith. I'm good, thank you. How are you this week?
Yeah, pretty good. So when we're looking at meditation, we've had quite the journey with the meditation, haven't we?
We have. It has gone through a number of years and different things that have happened over that time.
Just for people who might not realise, I've been teaching people meditation for a very long time. So along with being a hypnotherapist, I have run meditation retreats with Teresa helping me out. And I've also had a number of years running where I've had regular meditation circles that I host. So meditation is actually a really important tool in my toolkit of stress reduction and helping us train the brain. But I wanted to get into the differences between hypnotherapy and meditation. First of all, I'm going to ask Teresa a curly question. What do you think? The differences.
I knew this was coming, Meredith. So it should be me asking you what you think, but okay. So my thoughts are that in meditation, you're more in a controlled mindset. You're letting things come in and out, so you can actually you're more consciously aware, like you're focusing either on your breath or you're walking or doing like a visualization with a specific aim or goal at the end of that or during that period of time. Whereas hypnotherapy is more you're in a state of trance and you're open to suggestion. So in some ways the feeling might feel fairly similar, but it's the goal at the end that's different.
Yeah, I think a lot of times many of my hypnotherapy clients think it's just been a guided meditation, which is quite fascinating because when you look at what a guided meditation is, it's not necessarily there to resolve anything. So, when we're looking at that idea, we might want to induce a sense of peace or calm in our meditation practice. But when we're looking at why someone comes to a hypnotherapist is to change the mindset about something.
Yes.
Right?
Yeah.
So when we're looking at the contemplation of what your mindset is, you might meditate upon that.
And I think this is where the confusion comes with people, whether they're the same or, how similar they are.
I've got a couple of slides we can sort of begin to journey through, shall we? So what is meditation? So understanding meditation, and it really involves a technique of mindfulness, focusing on a particular object, thought, or activity. So quite often people might start with the breath. So noticing the movement of the breath, maybe the temperature of the breath, the sound of the breath. It could be a counting meditation where you are focusing on counting in for a period of time, holding the breath for a period of time, letting it go for a period of time. In Buddhist meditation, you don't hold the breath, so that is not one of their practices, just so if people didn't know that. That is something, a fun fact. So when we're looking at meditation, it could be focusing on a candle or focusing on a particular sound. So you might have a singing bowl or something that you're playing and you want to focus your attention upon it. Now the practice is if your mind wanders away from that point of attention, we're to practice drawing it back to that focus. So mind naturally wanders. It's a bit like a monkey, isn't it?
Well, your monkey brain, yep.
Yeah. So the goal is to achieve that mental clarity and emotional calm state. So that's really what meditation practice can lead you towards. The common techniques including deep breathing, mantras. So mantras, you might have Om Mani Padme Om, Om Mani Padme Om, or Sa Ta Na Ma, or just a Om, that kind of thing. So we're thinking about a repetitive set of words, and you just keep saying them over and over again. It could be, as I breathe in, I relax. As I breathe out, I relax. So it doesn't have to be some foreign language either. It can just be something that you're going to repeat in a mindful way over and over again. Have you done much meditation practice in the way of using mantras, Teresa?
I have done some, Meredith, yes, but not as many as what you have done over the years, yeah. And I do find that they actually, for me, they give me a completely different feeling when I'm actually doing that chant of the mantra. Yeah, the energy changes and shifts.
For sure. So common guided visualizations and meditation might be taking you to a pleasant field and doing a journey. It's more of a Western model, I'll just kind of say. It's not really the most traditional way that meditation was practiced. So if people are interested in learning meditation, that can be something to think about. When we're kind of looking at the idea of common types of meditation, the mindfulness meditation is one, and it involves the focusing of the present moment without judgment, often through breath awareness. Uses of mantras, like we were saying before, and then the guided meditation and imagery. Right, so the benefits of meditation: reducing stress, controls anxiety, promotes emotional health and well-being, enhances the self-awareness and lengthens attention span. My friend Bunty G. Alanka, you know Bunty G.
I know Bunty G, yes.
He described meditation as being a bit like a big target, and what you're trying to do is make your focused attention become smaller and smaller until it's just that middle bit there. And I thought that was a nice way of explaining how the practice is. So at the beginning of your meditation practice, you might often and frequently drift into some other thought. And then as soon as you're aware of it, you bring it back. And after a while, it's not to say that a seasoned meditator doesn't have minds that drift, but they won't drift as often. And they're able to focus for longer periods of time on one singular point of attention. That's the practice. I liken it to going to a mental gym and working out. You're helping your brain to train on focusing on certain things for certain ways. So the mental benefits: improving focus and concentration, enhancing memory, and supporting mental clarity. So when we're kind of looking at what is hypnotherapy, understanding hypnotherapy, obviously this channel is about hypnosis, but I thought it took me a while when I was thinking about the difference between meditation and hypnosis, what the similarities are and the differences. And I guess in short, hypnotherapy is to help you to create a mindset of success. I think that's Teresa's dog in the background, isn't it?
He is my dog. He's laid down now, but yes, he wants to play games when I want to record.
Every so often we do have those random sounds that come in, isn't it funny?
Yes.
So when we're looking at hypnotherapy, it's an open state of mind where you're more open to suggestion. You don't always have to be relaxed to be hypnotized, by the way, because a lot of people can be in terrible states of heightened extreme fear and be hypnotized, because that's where strong emotion wins. And often beliefs are then built at that point where then trauma can set in and create a program that you run every time you see certain sets of circumstances. It triggers you to run that program again. So as a hypnotherapist, we're really helping people to resolve that negative trigger and replace it with a more empowered one. What are your thoughts on that, Teresa?
On the hypnotherapy part of it, on the meditation?
Yeah,
Sorry, no, I wasn't
on
too
the
sure.
hypnotherapy side.
Yes, I think very much so. I mean, you know, we end up with lots of unfavorable beliefs and ideas that we come on, and we have to get them at some point in time. So if our body can actually take on board the negative belief, then it seems to reason that you can actually change that, and you do that through the same situation, but you're putting that positive suggestion. Yes.
Nice. So when we're looking at the idea of the steps that people go through, I actually had a client just earlier today asking me about hypnotherapy and around something she had heard. And she was watching a YouTube video, and apparently, I don't know who this is, but apparently this guy was saying, you know, if you go to a hypnotherapist and they're getting you to count from 10 down to 1, it's not going to work. And I'm like, wow, when she told me this, because that's just an induction and a way of deepening someone in. And it's about compliance and seeing how well the person is actually following instruction. It's about eye fixation, when you're getting someone to focus on one single point above their normal eye level and then count them down with the suggestion that with each number they're going to feel more and more hypnotized, or, you know, that kind of thing. It's actually part and parcel of a standard toolkit that most hypnotherapists use. So to say out to the public that, you know, if you've been asked to do that, it's never going to work, that is a fantastic, I guess, false statement. So I just like to put the record right. So if you have listened to someone who likes to charge $1,000 a session that says that they can cure you in 1 hour, buyer beware. So, I'm yet to know who this interesting hypnotherapist is out there saying such things, but anyway, I found that fascinating. So when we're looking at a typical thing, an induction is that part where a hypnotherapist is guiding you into often a focused state of relaxation, and there are verbal cues and breathing exercises potentially that help that person to be in a calm state. When we're thinking about emotional healing, well, if we're in a calm state, we're going to get to a more desirable state to work with. If we are still uptight and tense, it's not really the best place to be working, is it, Teresa?
No, it can make issues quite challenging to move forward if we're still emotionally. Yeah. So that coming back to that, building that rapport and trust with your client is essential.
So, you know, that calm state, focused attention and relaxing the body and mind is part of the induction. The deepening part is where the hypnotherapist enhances the state of relaxation and focus, making the client more receptive to those suggestions. So techniques might include that countdown, the visualizations, deep breathing, that kind of thing. So that then we start that therapeutic suggestion stage where we're layering how we want things to go. So the hypnotherapist introduced specific suggestions tailored to the client's goals. It's not about remember, you know, the client has the answer. So with the pre-talk, before you do any hypnosis, you're going to be understanding what the client actually wants. And often in this stage, you'll be repeating back the client's wants as if it was their voice, you know. So it could be that the client says, I want to feel calm and relaxed and enjoy driving on the motorway. Then you're going to repeat within that sort of set of suggestions, and you find yourself calm and relaxed every time you drive on that motorway. So you're utilizing the client's description of how they want to feel and the situation in which they want to feel it. So it really is designed to go into that subconscious programming. So post-hypnotic suggestions are also part of layering and reinforcing well after the session what's going to happen. So the suggestions include taking the person often into the future and imagining as you step into the car, you feel instantly calm and confident to go on the motorway. As soon as your hands touch the steering wheel and you turn on the vehicle, you feel instantly calm and relaxed. You're 10 times more relaxed than you had been in the past. And so you're kind of adding what's going to happen in expectation. So what do you think about that, Teresa?
Yes, using those post-hypnotic suggestions and traveling forwards to the future is a good way of like reinforcing the suggestions that you've made throughout your session.
Absolutely. So when we're kind of looking at that idea of benefits of hypnotherapy, so it helps with anxiety and stress. Hypnotherapy induces that state of deep relaxation, which can significantly reduce anxiety and stress levels, assisting in pain management by altering that perception of pain. Hypnotherapy can also help manage chronic pain conditions. So if anyone out there is looking to, get that support, then hypnotherapy may well be an option for you, It aids breaking habits like smoking and suggestions that can help each person sort of overcome different types of addictions and unwanted habits, whatever they may be. Obviously, vaping is a phenomenon now that's happening all over the world that once didn't even exist as a replacement of smoking. And when people go to quit the vaping, they realize they're even more addicted than they were when they were smoking. So, it can be very interesting, the mindset and how it can play tricks on us. So hypnotherapy can really help to interrupt that,
For sure.
So the importance of sleep, obviously everyone needs to have a good sleep, and a lot of my clients come in for sleep issues. So hypnotherapy can address the underlying issues that might be interfering with that sleep management, promoting better sleep patterns and quality. And again, maybe if I had the post-hypnotic suggestion within that, I might go, and every time when you go to bed with the intention of sleeping, as soon as your heavy head relaxes into the soft pillow and you close your eyes, you go into a sleep naturally and easily and quickly. So when we're looking at that idea of layering suggestion and that positive expectation, it's incredibly powerful when someone has that going on, because it's often replacing a thought that they go, oh God, what happens if I can't sleep tonight? I'm going to get up and I'm going to feel really terrible and I'm not going to be able to achieve those things that are really important to me. And it's awful when I can't sleep. So the brain goes into the I can't speech rather than this is what I can do speech. So as a hypnotherapist, we're really supporting the client to go into channel happy and really think about what they are saying to themselves as well before they go to sleep. Yeah. The last one here is enhancing the focus and concentration, similar, to the meditation. But we're going into that state of concentration where during the hypnosis session, we're really inviting that person to somehow improve things that they're going through in their daily life. So it is very intentional. Big difference between that meditation practice and hypnosis. So what are your thoughts on that, Teresa?
Yeah, for sure. I mean, when we're in hypnosis, we're actually bypassing the critical pathways so that we get through, whereas in meditation, that's not actually the case. You're not going into that state. Yeah.
So when we're looking at meditation versus hypnotherapy, so meditation usually you're fully aware, the mindful state. Hypnotherapy, trance-like, with focused attention. So sometimes people, when they're hypnotized, will go away with their thoughts, come back to my voice, go away with their thoughts, come back to my voice. That's quite common too. But that's okay because their unconscious or subconscious mind is still listening. Yeah. So they're still going to gain a lot from that hypnotic journey. So state of consciousness. So meditation often involves a guided techniques. Hypnotherapy typically is guided by a trained hypnotherapist. The goals of meditation: general well-being and mindfulness. Hypnotherapy is specifically more therapeutic in that outcome that we're looking for. So what is that therapeutic positive change that we want to support that client with? So the common ground between, so both can reduce stress and anxiety, both can enhance focus and concentration, and both involve a form of relaxation and mental clarity. So practical applications, so daily stress management, increasing mindfulness, general relaxation for meditation. And when you can use hypnotherapy is when you're addressing specific psychological issues, behavioural modification, and dealing with trauma or phobias. So just bear that in mind. Any thoughts that you'd add to that, Teresa?
Oh, put me on the spot again, Meredith. No, I think it's just being like they can work well hand in hand at times. To a certain extent, like your visualization, people could say, is like a form of meditation, and they can get that confusion. But I think it is remembering that when we're actually talking about hypnotherapy, we're working on a specific goal and outcome, and open to that positive suggestion. Yeah.
So the integration for optimal benefits, so we can utilize both of these in your daily life, really. So many of my clients would use a meditative practice to help train their mind to come to single-pointed attention, and also they might use one of the hypnotherapy recordings that we've done that's specifically reinforcing therapeutic outcomes that they wish to seek. So definitely we can look at offering or supporting our clients to use both. It doesn't have to be one or the other.
And I think like we showcased last week, you've said about listening to one of the pre-recordings from a session, but also if we teach clients self-hypnosis, they can bring that into their daily life as well, along with meditation if they choose.
Most definitely. So just a summary, both meditation and hypnotherapy both aim to improve mental and emotional well-being, but they do so through different methods and states of consciousness. But we are actually going to alpha theta waves. So both of them actually go into alpha theta. So it's not just hypnosis or just meditation that you get alpha theta waves going. So just be aware of that. So meditation generally improves generally involves self-guided techniques and maintains full awareness, mindfulness state, while hypnotherapy is guided by a trained hypnotherapist inducing a trance-like state. Both practices can reduce stress, enhance focus, promote relaxation, but meditation is often used with general well-being and mindfulness, whereas hypnotherapy targets specific therapeutic outcomes. So integrating both practices can provide that comprehensive benefit. Yeah. So when we're looking at that idea of hypnotherapy and meditation, there are many forms of meditation, and there's also many ways that we can support someone using hypnosis. So you can do regression work, you can do future pacing. We might use parts in the way of parts therapy, talking to that part that is going through a particular issue. So today I had someone who had a fear of driving, and we wanted to induce that feeling of calm and relaxation before she even gets in the car. So one of the things that I got her to imagine was sitting in a calm space of her choice. I have no idea where she went. That was her place to create. And then I invited her to give that anxiety and that fear and that worry a shape and a colour, and imagine it sitting in front of her, and then she got to speak to it. and she got to change it, and she ended up changing it into a star that was nice and colourful and high energy and positive, and it was going to help her to be calm and relaxed. And I asked her, where would you like it to live in your body? And she said, my heart. So I said, breathe it into your heart and just feel it. And we then got her to future pace into that scenario where even before getting in the car, that wonderful energy was supporting her and going through that dress rehearsal and embedding that post-hypnotic suggestion of how she would stay calm and relaxed every time she was going towards the vehicle to get in it, and especially when she sat behind the wheel and placed her hands on the steering wheel. That would amplify that feeling of calmness and relaxation. So that's sort of a general summary of what I did with this client today. Whereas if I had done just meditation, that wouldn't have helped that client in a therapeutic way, not for, overcoming the fear of driving.
No.
So are there any kind of final questions or thoughts or anything that you'd like to add there, Teresa, about this topic today?
No, I think I invite people, if they're curious, to go and actually do a bit more research themselves and look into those benefits, because it is something, meditation, although we do hypnotherapy, it is something you can perhaps suggest that would be also useful to your client. So it's always good to have that additional knowledge. And I think really going forward from that is for people to like and subscribe and click the bell for notifications and go visit your website to find out more.
Nice. And if you want to become a clinical hypnotherapist and learn more about how to do all of these things and help lots of people, please visit the website www.nzach.ac.nz. And if you have any topics you'd like us to talk about, please drop us a line in the comment section. We'd love to hear from you, and then we can make this channel something interesting that is going to be of benefit to you guys out there. So thank you very much again, Teresa, for helping me through this session, and we'll see you again in another week.
Yep, thank you, Meredith. Always a pleasure. Look forward to next week.
Cool. Bye, everyone.
Bye.